subtext of this visit is, of course, China and the convergence of the United States and India on a common understanding that China is a challenge. Beyond that, there is a prosperity agenda between the two countries, which spans a very wide set of opportunities in technology, in clean energy, and in health. And so you're looking at a very broad strategic partnership, which the joint statement of that visit indicated last night. Has two countries believing that their ties have never been so wide and deep. Now, this doesn't mean necessarily that you're looking at cohesion and no daylight between the countries. There is an understanding that essentially these are two very strong partners, but they are not allies, and there are plenty of issues in the world which still divide them. But you're looking at cohesion, you're looking at very favorable optics, and you're looking at two principals who need each other to promote themselves domestically.
Let's dive into that common interest of China and the tensions that lie between India and China and the US and China. To what extent do you think Biden is motivated by getting closer to India in order to de-risk from China? And what would a collaboration look like between the two? Is this in terms of defense? Is this in terms of U.S. investing more in India to diversify its economy and reduce its reliance on China? How should we think about that dynamic?
I think it's a double interest. There's the geopolitical interest, the sense that if you are going to have an Indo-Pacific strategy vis-à-vis China, you need India on side, the biggest country in the world in population terms now, a major defense player in South Asia and the Indian Ocean, and obviously a country which is directly bordering China. On the other hand, you're looking at trying to de-risk from the China market, and in that sense you're looking at the opportunity which the Indian market might offer, which is a very sizable market. It's difficult, it will take time, expectations management on the basis of the fact that the Indian market is difficult to crack, but you're looking at a visit which crucially is trying to bring together geoeconomics, geopolitics, technology in a package which makes sense both for the two governments and crucially for the Indian government, because security is the way in to the Indian market.
Antoine, so we're spending a lot of time, rightly so, looking at the US-India, India-US relationship, but just square the circle for me. We've already spent a lot of time on this channel looking at the US-China. What about China-India relationship? It's a very complicated relationship.
It's a very complicated relationship. It's become more complicated since 2020 when a major clash took place between soldiers of the two countries in remote elevated Ladakh region, the Himalayas. This caused a great change in the atmospherics of the relationship, some unknitting of the patiently made diplomatic relations and military-to-military relations. But at the same time, India does not want to fully decouple in strategic terms from China. And the reason for that being that the border is there, the two countries can't move away from each other, and they have to manage their land connectivity and the fact that they share an Indian Ocean outlook, which necessitates that they get on together.